Good morning! Oh, traffic light is green. It is one of the rare occasions that I am leaving my house and actually do have plans. I don't know how you're feeling, but I can definitely feel winter. Like, winter is wintering. I can feel the sadness, okay? I'm not feeling good whatsoever. I have that habit that when I don't feel good, I usually lock myself up at home. Do absolutely nothing and just pretty much rot the entire time if I can do that. I saw a video, I don't remember from who, but he was explaining it so well that when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling depressed, you tend to not do the things that usually make you happy. Like, for example, going to the gym, going on a walk, meeting with friends, doing your skincare, stuff like that. He explained it in some way that you think you don't want to do that, and it is so much harder to overcome that, you know? When I get super sad, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to meet with someone. I don't want to go to the gym, and I just want to be by myself. There is nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes this can be the right thing to do at the moment. But if you do that for a while and continue to do that and nothing really gets better, I think there needs to be a point where you have to force yourself to do something. I mean, I'm never super socially active and have a lot of plans. I tend to enjoy it more in summer. I tend to enjoy it more to go out, do stuff, have plans. But in winter, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. And I'm accepting that I don't want to do as much, but I still cannot lock myself up for half a year at home and not see anybody. I sometimes think it is the right thing to go outside and actually do something, even if it's just for a walk or something, because sometimes I'm very in my sad mood, in my feelings, in my thoughts, and then I go on a walk with my dog and suddenly it's so much better. And then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, maybe these things do actually help, you know? Conclusion is, I felt really called out by that video, that your depression, your depressed mood is telling you that you do not want to do that things, but when you actually force yourself to do them, it can make you feel better. So I am meeting with a friend and we're actually going to the gym together, which I think is so funny because back in the day when I started my fitness journey in 2019, when I signed up for the gym, I went with her and we went together for a while because there was a gym next to law school. So we went to law school together and then we always went to the gym and it was like the best time ever. And then it just stopped one day because, you know, the whole pandemic thing happened. This is like a fitness chain, so they have multiple destinations. I mean, we're not going to the specific gym we went to in law school, but we're going to the same fitness chain. And I'm going with her again after so many years, which I think is so fun actually. Like I'm excited to work out together again. Sometimes it really sucks when you have friends and they don't live close to you, but I feel like that's with all of my friends, with all of my free friends. Back to the moods. I have one more point. Something that I realize is I have such mood swings. Like when I wake up in the morning, I feel probably my worst out of the entire day. I feel super overwhelmed, I feel anxious, I feel depressed, I feel all of these things. And then once I wake up, I actually feel good and I feel like I can do things. And then I'm like, wow, I can do things. And then during the afternoon it gets really bad again. I feel like this time of the year is the hardest for me because in fall you're still super energized from summer and I love fall so much. It's my happiest season. Like I love fall, and then you still have Christmas to look forward to. So I'm like, okay, I still have my Christmas lights, my Christmas tree, Christmas coming up, and then after Christmas, it's just in the middle of winter and it's dark and it's cold, and then I start to really struggle with my mental health until it gets better in, like, I would say April, and then I get an energy burst again in the evening, and then I feel like on top of the world. I feel like this is my favorite time of the day, like in the morning when I have my energy burst, and at night I have these two energy bursts, and then I feel like I can do anything in this world. I wish I could feel like this all the time, but unfortunately I cannot. And then I get really bad nighttime anxiety and then I cannot sleep. I also realized that I tend to feel more overwhelmed again by small things like household things, and even now that I have doctor's appointments that annoy me and things that wouldn't usually annoy me, things that usually, I don't know, I feel like I'm more irritated. Maybe it's also because I'm getting my period, okay? Maybe it's also, I think a lot of it is also because of my period. There's just so much going on right now. I feel everything feels so heavy, and I have so many things that bother me and worry me right now at the moment. There is nothing worse than when your thoughts and your worries keep you up at night. Like, I have that so many times, but especially when it's bad, like right now, it's like really bad. Then I obviously feel more tired the next day and whatever. And then I want to nap all the time because I'm so drained from everything that's going on in my mind. If you ever take sad naps, you know what it's like. It feels good at the beginning because you forget everything for a while, and then you wake up and everything comes back to the surface. And this has to be one of the worst feelings. The same when you go to bed at night and all of your problems come up again in the morning. Oh my gosh, this should be illegal. This is so bad. Like, you've had your peace for a few hours and then you wake up and it hits you like a wave and you're like, oh my gosh. I don't even know what we're doing today. Probably hitting legs. I need to hit legs. It's Monday. I am going from one topic into another. What I always thought is so fun when you have someone that you go to the gym with is that you can try new things and you don't feel stupid. So I'm really excited if we try anything new, because I remember back in the day we tried everything, every exercise, every machine. We even tried to barbell together because we were so afraid to try it on our own. And oh my god, it was just the best time ever. You always think you have forever or you have a long time. Like with law school, I thought we have so many more years to come, and suddenly the whole pandemic hit, and from one day to another, no one expecting it, law school was over for me, because she graduated when we were in lockdown, and then I graduated a little bit after that, and we never went to law school or to the gym again together, you know. Maybe we could apply this to the situation I've been rambling on for 15 minutes now. You always think it's going on forever, you always think it's so long, but nothing lasts forever. And I think this is one of my favorite quotes from Taylor Swift. I mean, it's from Wildest Dreams and it's about something completely else. But nothing lasts forever. No matter how bad you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. And if we're going through a rough time, that is actually good because that gives us hope. I don't leave my house very often, and something that I really struggle with when it comes to going outside and doing things is my anxieties. We actually went to the cinema 2 days ago, and I was really anxious about it, okay? And when it comes to doing things, going outside, I usually, or my brain, or I don't know what part of me, I always find a different reason why I'm anxious about that certain situation. So Tuesday, my boyfriend and I, we decided to do like a date night, go and eat something, and then go to the cinema, which we rarely ever do, and I think we should do more often. I was so anxious about Bowie because he's not used to being alone in the evening at night, and also because of some of his health issues at the moment. I feel like I'm so much more anxious about leaving him home alone, also because he really struggles being home alone, and I always feel so bad, so incredibly bad. This is also a really big reason why I don't want to do anything, because I just don't want to leave him home alone. Because every time I leave, I mean, if it's a little bit, you know, if I just go to the gym for 2 hours or something, it's okay. But if it's for a longer period of time, or if it is like in the night where he's not used to being home alone, I worry so much. Even though I feel like I should get him used to it so I have a little bit more freedom of what I can do, but whatever. I was definitely super anxious about him being home alone. Something that really helps me with that, if you also have a dog and you're very worried, is I have cameras in my apartment. So of course, when it's dark, I turn on the lights, I turn on the TV, and I just make it cozy for him. And then I have the cameras and I can see what he's doing. I think what stressed me about the cinema especially was because I wasn't sure if I'm gonna have internet in the movie theater room, in the cinema room. I wasn't sure if the connection is good enough to see what he's doing on camera, or that I might not be checking often enough. And then I don't know. Yeah, I'm not super anxious if we're not very far away, so the cinema fortunately is not far away, so I could go home at any minute. But if we are more farther away, I get very anxious. I feel like this has gotten worse and worse. And I read this book about anxiety and panic attacks, and something he described in that book is if you have anxiety, you kind of expand your anxiety bubble. For example, you're scared to go to concerts, and then you're scared to go to the grocery store, and then you're scared to leave the house, and you make this bubble so big, or actually small. Is it small? Because you make the bubble smaller and smaller of what you can do. I think this is the correct term to describe it. You make the bubble smaller and smaller until you pretty much cannot do anything because your anxiety stops you from doing anything at all, you know? Sometimes when I go out in places, I'm anxious about being safe, you know, especially when it's like crowded places. I also sometimes struggle. Like there's always a different reason why I kind of struggle with my anxiety. It really isn't pleasant to do things, and I really wanted to cancel on Tuesday. I really didn't want to go. I didn't want to buy the tickets. If something happens, it's my fault, and then, you know, I always have this kind of like mindset. I'm glad that I pushed myself, and something that really helps me with that is past situations. Like, how many past situations did I have where I had the exact same thoughts or similar thoughts? I went and it was fine. Like, this helps me so much in overcoming it. And also I like to think about other people doing stuff like that. Like, it's not out of the world that I do things like that. And then I always need to tell myself, like, I am allowed to go outside and enjoy my life, which obviously only is when it comes about Bowie, when it's more like a safety issue. But I always tell myself when it's a safety issue, I'm like, how small do I want to make my bubble? Because, you know, then you say, I don't want to go to concerts or stuff like that, and then you kind of like one day you cannot do anything because you won't feel safe anywhere. I think also cinema is something. There was, if you remember, there was like this shooting in a cinema years ago, and oh my gosh, I remember going to the cinema. I'm not sure how much it was after that, but where I live, it is very safe. Okay, very safe. Like, it's very countryside and whatever. But if I would go to the cinema like in a bigger city, or if I'm in a bigger city, I get way more nervous about things like that. Like, I remember being in the cinema and there was a man walking like in front of the screen, and it was so weird, and I was starting to panic. And I'm not even living in the US, okay, so it's not even like but I don't know. It's just, you know, things happen, and I think we have to decide for ourselves, like, how much do we want to restrict our life because of things like that, and how much do we still enjoy it, because unfortunately bad things can happen anywhere. Whatever, not part of the story. I just wanted to say this is something that I really struggle with my anxiety, that I always tell myself something why I cannot do a certain thing. So I'm really proud of myself for pushing myself this week, Monday and Tuesday. Like, these are social plans for the entire month for me. Yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday I had to go to the doctors because of my job that I'm about to start. I don't even want to talk about it. And the last time I was there, I was describing to him that I really struggle with, I wouldn't say mood swings, I would more say like really bad mental health when it comes to my period and stuff like that. And he wrote something down for me that I should try. Yesterday, I didn't expect him to ask me if it helped, but he asked me if it helped. And I couldn't say like, damn, I've been broke for the last month because I've been home and I didn't have a job. And so I was like, oh no, I didn't order it yet, but it hasn't been that bad lately. And I literally, like, I'm about to get my period, and yesterday the day was awful. I feel like the past 4 to 5 days were so awful mentally for me. So yeah, maybe I should try that thing that he wrote down for me. What I wanted to say with that. And something that I'm trying to learn is that even if it is because of my period, or if it's not because of my period, it doesn't matter. We all have bad days, okay? And sometimes I just cry the entire day, or almost the entire day. And yesterday was one of these days. And instead of beating myself up, which I used to do in the past, now I just give myself grace. And I do whatever I feel like I can do that day. Yesterday, that wasn't anything. I didn't do anything. Nothing. Like, walk, Bowie, and that was it. I didn't do dishwasher. I didn't clean the kitchen. I barely made myself something to eat. I just didn't want or had the energy to do anything. I was literally laying here on my couch all day watching Harry Potter and being said, the world doesn't end because you didn't clean the kitchen. The world doesn't end if you didn't take a shower, because I for sure didn't do that. And the world doesn't end if you don't have the healthiest meal, or if you want to have a little bit of chocolate or stuff like that. But the world doesn't end, okay? It's still gonna continue, so we need to give ourselves grace on our very bad mental health days. And something I also wanted to say is I feel a little bit better today. That's why I can also film. If you do things and you're not feeling well mentally, celebrate it. However small that is, okay? I did the dishwasher today. I cleaned the kitchen, filming this video. I did a little bit of laundry, and I am so proud of myself. So proud of myself. Celebrate the smallest things, even if you got out of bed, even if you brush your teeth, however small that is. If you're struggling with mental health, you know exactly how hard these things can be and how overwhelming these things can feel on the very bad mental health days. Good morning. I am in the gym parking space. It is like 7:30. I set an alarm for 6:30 today, and I really didn't want to do this today. Here we are. I actually randomly woke up at like 5:30. But I didn't want to get out of bed. I was like, should I get out of bed? But then I continued to cuddle with Bowie. The gym helps me a lot with my mental health. I've said this so many times. It really helps me. But also when I'm struggling, I feel like the gym can feel very overwhelming. Having my pre-workout as always. Cheers! Today's a little bit more on the relaxing side because we're hitting back and biceps, which I'm very excited for. Let's do this. Done at the gym, and I already went grocery shopping. And I don't know about you, but on my bad mental health days I overthink things like this, like going to the gym, going grocery shopping so much. It feels so overwhelming the night before I have to do it, especially if I have to wake up early, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's just going to the gym and grocery shopping. I know how stupid it sounds, but on these days it feels like so much. I think it is always such an accomplishment if you think you cannot do something and then you do it. And then you're really proud of yourself, and then you're like, the next time this happens, I did this before, so I can do it again. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go home now and put away my groceries, walk Bowie. It's already Friday. Enjoy my weekend. Have a very chill weekend. I really need it. I have to edit a video today. This video was a little bit different from my usual fitness content, but I still hope that it helped someone, that it made you feel less alone in some type of way. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!